Let me ask you a question. What if your phone could work without the internet? Today, we're going to dive into a concept called FUN. That's a fully user owned network. And it pretty much challenges everything we think we know about how our devices connect. And it all kicks off with one simple question.
Seriously, think about it. You're camping, you're in a subway tunnel, the power's out, whatever. You're completely off the grid. Can you pull out your phone and send a message to your friend who's sitting right there next to you? I think for most of us, the reaction is pretty much instant.
And yeah, that's the logical answer, isn't it? No bars, no Wi Fi, your phone's just a pocket sized brick. That's what we've all been taught. But what if that's not the whole story? What if something is possible? And then, against all logic, a message pops up on your friend's screen. Something totally normal, delivered in what should be a completely impossible situation. The reaction, of course, is just total confusion.
Exactly. No bars, no internet. So the billion-dollar question is, how? I mean, if it's not using cell towers and it's not using the web, what on earth is it using? This is where the whole idea gets really, really interesting.
Okay, so to understand this, you kind of have to rewire your brain a little. We're all so used to this idea of the cloud, this abstract, faraway place where our data lives, which is really just massive server farms owned by a handful of companies. This is the total opposite of that. So instead of the cloud, imagine what the source material calls your shard. Your data isn't out there somewhere. It's right here. It's local, controlled by your own devices, maybe even just your router upstairs. It's a personal network, which, can lead to some pretty funny misunderstandings.
Ha! Well, probably not the fridge, but honestly, that's not too far off. The principle is exactly right. It's just local devices talking directly to each other. And the tech that makes this all possible, it has a name. It's called a mesh network. See, instead of every single phone needing to connect way out to some central tower, the devices connect directly to each other. They use the tech that's already in your pocket, like Bluetooth or local Wi-Fi, to create their own little web of communication. And the potential for this goes way, way beyond just sending a text message.
So once you have this local user-owned network in place, you can start to do some truly incredible things with it. And the best part, you can do it all without a big tech company standing in the middle watching everything.
I mean, imagine your tax app could talk directly to your bank app, and your taxes just get filed. Poof, done. Or what if you could share a sensitive insurance doc directly with a client, peer-to-peer, completely secure? You could even cache a movie from your neighbor's hard drive instead of streaming it from some giant corporation. The common thread through all of this is that they're built on a network that you, the user, actually own.
And that, right there, is the radical idea. It's a network, a whole set of services that isn't owned by some company in Silicon Valley. It's owned by the people who use it. And if the users own the network, well, then they can build their own tiny economies right on top of it, all the way down to the smallest possible transaction.
5 cents. Just imagine a world where you could be paid instantly, directly, for some tiny service you provided. No fees, no bank, no waiting. How would that even work? Well, it's actually surprisingly simple. Let's say you do something helpful, like sweep the sidewalk in front of your building. You just show someone your personal QR code, they scan it, and that tiny payment goes directly from their device to yours, instantly. This isn't just a new piece of tech. It is a completely different philosophy. All of this, the mesh networks, the direct payments, it all builds towards one single powerful idea about ownership and control. It's a motto for an entirely new way of thinking about our digital world. This is the heart of it all. The idea that you should own your network, you should control your data, and you should get to set the terms for your own digital life. Now, that sounds like a massive, huge concept, right? But getting there doesn't have to be this giant, complicated thing. You don't need to change the entire world overnight. According to this idea, it all begins with one really small step, joining a tiny local network, what they call a backyard chat, with just a few of your neighbors. You build it from the ground up, person by person. And so that leaves us with one final big thought to chew on. If you weren't dependent on the giant internet providers, if you and your community truly owned the network that connected all of you, what would you build? What problems would you solve? What would you do with that kind of power?